Happy Friday. This is one interview that I have been super excited to be part of for a long time, ever since my station manager to my right, Sherry Steele, brought Miss Toni Hill to my attention by playing me a track called Coffee Shop. Now, Toni Hill, I have to tell you a true story. Your song, most mornings, gets me excited to go to the nearby coffee shop here by the Daybreak Star Radio Network, only radio network officially indigenized in there. Always, I got to get that plug in there. And thanks to you, I look forward to my piping hot blueberry scone occasionally in the mornings, and my delicious bagel with sesame seeds, light on the cream cheese. So thanks to Toni Hill. It's an honor to have you with us this morning at the Daybreak Star Radio Network, and we're super excited to chat with you this morning. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, Naskani from the Blackfeet Nation. I'd like to do a land acknowledgement. And yes, thank you. I'm so happy that you get your coffee and scones in the morning, because that's the way you start your morning, okay?
You're right. You're right.
It's a good way to start the morning. I want to do a land acknowledgement. I am currently in North Carolina, in Winston-Salem to be specific. It is the Kiowa, the Haliwa, Safoni, and the Tutelo. So I want to acknowledge them. I have some sage that I'm gonna light for us. So we'll do an acknowledgement there too. We'll do a little impromptu sage and smudge for everybody.
A little bit of blessing for everybody.
Yes. So, shed a little love for everybody, get the love going. We'll do that and get the love rocking. But yes, I'm super excited about everything too. What happened to me? I left you.
No, you're still here.
We can see you loud and clear.
Oh, it says site has been reported unsafe on my end. They playing games. Hold on one second. Look, let me switch glasses, because see, these are the cute glasses. These are the I need to get some business done glasses.
It's important.
It is.
4 or 5 pairs around. That way
It's so funny because on my end, it's like saying that, oh, boo, stop playing games. There you are. Yay, you're back. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what that was all about. It's like I went on this site, and ever since there's all this stuff kind of popping up. You guys can't see it though, right?
Nope.
Okay, so we'll just switch back to my handle business glasses and keep it cute.
Very good.
Yeah, so anyway, back to the blessing. Just wanted to do that. I also have a little lavender burning in the background as well. I have me some water. So we got everything covered. We can proceed.
Awesome. Well, on that, who are you? Please tell, we know who you are, but please tell everybody else who you are, what your ancestry is. That would be awesome.
Okay, so I am Toni Hill. I am a descendant of Chief Lone Walker of the Blackfeet Nation. I am a descendant also of the only white Blackfoot, which would be Hugh Monroe, and they named him Rising Wolf. He married the chief's daughter, which was Senapa, and Foxwoman, and they had children, and those children had children, and that begat my grandmother, who she had 7 children by my grandfather, who was out of Texas, and they had both moved during the 40s to work in the shipyards. And this is right before the Vanport flood in Portland. So they met in the Northwest, both coming from somewhere else. My grandmother left the reservation. She was unfortunately part of the boarding school situation, and experienced a lot of tragedy, under that particular thing. And she, as a way to kind of leave, she signed up voluntarily to go on a training program, which sent her to the Northwest to work. And that's how she met my grandfather. So I am a descendant of those two people coming together. So in Montana, on the Blackfeet Reservation, we have 3 actual mountain ranges, one for each of those particular ancestors, for Lone Walker, for Sinapa, and also for Rising Wolf. And so that's who I am. I am a singer, songwriter. I also am a visual artist. I think I can dance when I'm feeling good inside, but that's not true. I would like to learn. I do have a niece that's a jingle dancer and some other family that dance, but that's not my thing. I think I kind of missed out on that one, but I think it's beautiful.
You have your voice, so you didn't miss out.
You know, I have that in my visual art to rely on. I don't, I can't do everything. I mean, I try, but it's not. But my son is a drummer, and my other son is interested in dancing, and so that's one of the things that I might get him into. He's 6, and the other one is 11. But yeah, I grew up in the Northwest. I was born in Seattle. And then I moved to Portland, and I've pretty much lived everywhere in the United States and in Puerto Rico also. So that's kind of like the background of who I am and my lineage, So yeah, but I was so excited when you guys reached out to me, and I was really proud to hear that my music was being played on this particular platform. It's always warmed my heart. And also my grandmother did a lot of work for Daybreak Star. She also did a lot of work with El Centro de la Raza and some other things in Seattle. So growing up there as a small child, these are the type of things that were in the community and available that we participated in. So I just want to give you guys a shout out for continuing the legacy and expanding it this far. I'm super proud.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're really, really thrilled and honored and blessed to be able to have a platform for Native artists. It's our whole goal. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Toni, who was your main inspiration? Who was your role model who encouraged you back in the day to step into that recording studio, to feel comfortable, to put that first set of headphones on, to grab that mic, to own that crowd? Who was that person that you want to show love to, that that gave you that chance? That was that NBA scout that said, you know what, you need to step on the court and be an MVP.
Oh wow! A few people. One, my brother, rest in peace, Raymond Buchanan. He had this wild idea because he was a DJ and a break dancer and pop locker and all that stuff. He had a bright idea that I should be a rapper. And so he used to write me little raps, me and my cousin, and dress us up all cute, make me practice, and I'd be rapping and all this stuff. And so he was my first inspiration. And he's the first one that introduced me to music, period, like hip hop, jazz, rock and roll, everything. That was my entry to music, period. And when I got in high school, no one still really knew that I could sing. I knew I could sing, and I sang at gospel choir, but I was just kind of trying to blend in. And so my story is similar to, have you ever seen Sister Act? The movie Sister Act? So kind of similar to that. I was just kind of in the background, and somebody was like, wait a minute, wait, come here for a second, do that again. One of those people is Kurt Green. He was the choir director at the time, and another one is Eugene Blackman. These are choir directors that were over the Jefferson choir at the time, and they just called me out. And I was like, no, I was so nervous. What got me past that initial being nervous about it was my theater coach. I didn't want to sing. That wasn't my thing. I've won the Zora Neale Hurston Literary Award for my writing. I was supposed to go to NYU for theater. Like, that was more of like what I thought. I thought I was going to be a writer and an actor, but music came in. It's always kind of been in the background, and I knew I could sing, but other people didn't know that. And because I was terrified, Milton Adams actually was one of my theater coaches, and he told me, Toni, he said, you should look at it as like, well, he called me Antonia, which would be my government issue. He was like, what you should do is embrace it as a character, and it's not you, it's Toni Hill singing. And that developed the persona of Toni Hill. So a lot of times if I'm doing something like creatively, it's Toni Hill, that gave me the confidence and the separation between who I was, like an alter ego type of a thing. So that's kind of how it started out.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. So you were performing a bit in Seattle. You were in a couple of different groups. And what happened? Where'd you go?
She disappears. Actually what's been happening for me, because I'm a songwriter, is a lot of times I will do other people's projects, but I hadn't been doing my own. And that's actually what started the whole coffee shop thing, and the album that I have, Only Love, is my only solo product, because I've always been in groups. I've toured nationally with groups and things like that for over almost 30 years, if you want to like date it, but definitely over 20 years. And what I have found is that it goes in waves. It kind of, you'll be hot and you'll get all the shows, and then you'll kind of like not be hot, or just kind of waiting in the wings for something to happen, or the band breaks up or something like that. And so that's why it was important for me to do a solo project. How that came about was Gabriel Teodros called me one day and was like, hey, Amos Miller has always done hip hop and he wants to do a soul album. And I'm like, sure. And so I moved back to Seattle. I hadn't lived in Seattle since I was a little kid. Moved back to Seattle. I started working at Jefferson Community Center and living in the CD. And then I would just ride the bus, go to work, and go to the studio. And I did that for over a year, almost 2 years, until the project was finished.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so I disappear sometimes. I have a lot of stuff, like a lot of features with other people, primarily hip hop stuff. I've written some things behind the scene. I moved to New York for a long time and became a songwriter there. So I have a few writing credits behind the scenes too. So I'm always kind of doing something, but right now I gotta focus on me again and doing like another solo project, because I think that's what the people want.
Well, as one of the people, I would like to say that I just love hearing your voice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're just tuning in. We have the honor to chat with Miss Toni Hill. She's with us live from the Carolinas. We're here live at the Daybreak
North Carolina.
Shaggy said it the best. What have been some struggles for you as an artist, and how have you overcome those struggles?
I think that because I am coming from a perspective of pre-internet, I mean, we were still like, the DAT machine hadn't even been made for live performances yet. So my career spans a long time. And so what I've noticed is that when a new technology like CDs come out or something, now we don't do records anymore. Okay, we're on CDs. Or now we don't perform with this, we do the DAT. Now we don't do the DAT, we do the CD. Now we don't do the CD, now we plug in the computer. Now we don't. So you have to be adaptable. You have to be willing to be open-minded enough to find out what's going on, what's trending, and be willing to take that step and learn and ride the wave of a particular learning curve. You can't just stay stuck in whatever era or wave or the first way that you came in. You have to be willing to kind of go with what's new and what's kind of going on. I think that my career personally has kind of suffered because I'm, Erykah Badu says it best. She goes, I'm a analog girl in a digital world. And so for me, coming from that, where everything was live instruments or the DJ or just a specific type of a way with performance, then having to learn something new or just be left out. And I chose not to be left out.
It's good. I'm glad you chose that pathway.
For sure. So on that, what advice do you have for other upcoming Native artists? What would you tell them?
Ooh, the best advice that I could give Native artists would be true to yourself. Don't try to fit in with everybody else just because that's what you think is cute or trending or whatever. Like, be authentic and do your research. Find out. Like right now, the internet, you can do everything from, matter of fact, I have GarageBand on my phone, right? I can turn this phone on and my headphones are right here and I can sing into the headphones or have these ones on and get a lot of my ideas recorded. So don't be afraid to use what's there and what's available. There's plenty of apps that will do that for you to get your ideas up until you can get your weight up, so to speak, to get to the studio or whatever, because sometimes that could be a cost. Or you can make an investment in a computer and be able to do everything from home and get you, a decent microphone and really get some clean production and vocals done and send them off to get mixed and you're rolling. So don't be afraid to like utilize what you have, but also like don't let the creative process be stifled because you think you don't have something.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I heard an interview recently that somebody did with Paul McCartney, and he said when he was starting out, one of the best places that he could record was with his little 4-track in his parents' bathroom.
Yes. Oh, the acoustics in the bathroom are great. You sound really good. That's why people like to sing in the shower. I was just talking to my friend about that. I was like, I don't sing in the shower. I was like, I should probably start doing that. I don't know, maybe, but the acoustics are good though.
Yeah. So what do you like to do when you're not doing music?
Oh boy. Well, I am an artist educator, so I teach writing workshops. I've coached debate. I've done, speaking engagements across the country. I've worked at Columbia University in New York, a little bit of everything. I love to garden and I homeschool my boy. So that's something that I do.
That's good.
Yeah, that's fun. When I'm doing something that's like more like business though, teaching, and like, I don't know if it's leisure, but I'm a visual artist, so I love photography and painting. So those are things that I spend time doing that people may or may not know that I do.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm one of your fans and I didn't know that.
Oh,
What kind of painting do you do?
Well, one of the things that I like to do is every year I take my boys back home to Browning to participate in powwow there. And we stay with family and stuff. And so, or we'll, participate in ceremony and stuff. And so what I'll do is bring my camera, I'll take a bunch of pictures and stuff, and then I will print my pictures out and then I'll paint a lot of the things that I've seen. So that's the best way that I can approach painting. Kind of color by number style. For me, it's a little bit easier for me to see it first. Some people can just paint out their brain. I'm not as good with that particular thing. I usually paint from my photography. Unless it's landscapes, then I can be pretty creative like that. But the medium that I'm using most often is acrylic, but I want to learn how to use oil paints. That's like a goal.
Wow. Multi-talented.
If you could collaborate with any artist, who would it be and why?
Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm gonna answer this diplomatically. I want to work with who wants to work with me, because that particular thing has made me have longevity in my career. When people approach me and they really want to work, I'm game. Let's do it. Let's get it going. There's so many multi-talented people that I would like to work with that I haven't yet. And there's a lot that I would work with again. That's kind of like a safe answer, but that's the real answer. I want to work with people who want to work with me. Like if you hit my inbox and you're like, hey, I do this, I've got a lot of work that way. There's people that'll hit me up and say, hey, I'm an up and coming this, or I'm an established artist and I tour. I just need your vocals to sing Oz in the background. I've done it. I got a commercial with the Chicharrones. They did a commercial for a Galaxy phone or something back in the day. And I'm just singing Oz in the background and I got a pretty substantial check. So anybody want me to do Oz, I'm ready.
How important is fashion to you? Did you ever see yourself producing a clothing collection, clothing brand?
I've toyed with the idea only because when we tour, a lot of times we make our merch, but I usually ask somebody else because I don't draw that well. I paint pretty well and I can take a mean photo. But I guess I would have to explore that. I think that fashion is important, and it's something like in terms of I've done some modeling stuff before. So I feel like supporting fashion is good, but I've never like aspired to do that. But if somebody want to buy it, I'm not going to stop you. It's America. It's,
I can see the
capitalism.
Miss Toni Hill collection coming up soon, whether it's, a velour top and bottom, or, a sweatshirt or a hoodie, I could see it with some
Maybe a hoodie or like,
some
you know what
different studs,
you know what I think I'd be better at doing, honestly, is like jewelry. I think I could make some cute jewelry or something. Maybe that would be a little bit more where I would spend my time. I don't know if I'm cut out for the fashion world, and I don't know how to sew yet.
Well, you leave that to the factories. So.
Oh, okay. Is that what it is?
You leave that to the relationships that we have over in India. So
even the way that I'm thinking about it, you can tell that is not my thing. I'm not processing it right, but that's a great idea.
Well, when you're doing yard work this weekend, think about when you're raking up some old leaves from the fall, the hoodie, the first hoodie drop of the Miss Toni Hill collection. So
yes, thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, if I can help with something, hey. That's what I do.
So how long have you been in North Carolina, and what is the music vibe like out there?
Oh my goodness. I've only been in North Carolina 2 months. So I haven't had an opportunity to participate like that. However, I know there are a lot of hip hop artists, Rhapsody. I know there's like producers and stuff that have come from here, and then and rappers like the one, I can't even think of his name right now, and I feel so bad, but I did that North Carolina reference, like that comes from an artist from here. He's like P.D. Pablo is his name. So Yep. There's a lot of music down here. I think that the South just has its own vibration anyway, and I like that. And like they have red clay here, and the earth is different, and the smell and like the wildlife that's just in my yard is beautiful, and I get inspired from so many different things. And visually, I can't stop taking pictures. So all of those things I think will play a role in what is implemented in my music, because it has no choice but to seep in some kind of way. I mean, also like marching bands and things like that. Like there's a lot of historically Black colleges here, and so the big band is like a big thing here. And so I'm aware of that. I haven't seen it personally. I've seen it on television or something like that, or heard about it. So I look forward to like incorporating that somehow as well.
It's amazing. Yeah, I grew up in Oklahoma, and there's some really, really good high school marching bands. And for a bit, we lived down the street from my high school, and just to get up on the weekends and hear them play.
It
was
yes.
You just wanted to bounce around while you're
yes it'll get you going. So I anticipate that. And then just food and culture, it's different. It's the South. So it's the Bible Belt as well, and I grew up in church. So I anticipate hearing some soulful singing and things. I want to reach out to the indigenous community so that I can go to powwow, because I'm going to love taking pictures and painting everything I see. So that's going to be good. Right now, I'm just taking time to get grounded, literally and figuratively, get my vegetables in the ground, because the last frost I think passed, so I should be good here. And then I'll start meeting more people so that I can start networking. And also I think the mask mandate and other things are happening to where you can kind of get out a lot more. So I'm looking forward to that, because I've been in the house a long time. Yeah. It's time to get out.
Can we expect some new music from you? When can we have our next world premiere out here on the Daybreak Star Radio Network with one of those drops that you just sent over?
Oh, that would be awesome. Okay, so I'm working on a project right now, and it'll be my only second solo project I've ever done. It is like a collection of love letter type of a vibration, but written kind of like in love letter form, but also in poetry format. And so I'm trying to transcribe those and turn those into music. I'm working with a really great producer right now. And also a cool thing that nobody knows that my son taught me is that you can make beats on your phone on GarageBand. So I've been making beats and I'm actually getting pretty good. So as soon as I get like to where I feel like, then I'm going to let y'all hear that too. So what I'm going to do is release stuff on CD Baby because they'll distribute it really well. And I will like do an EP so that I can get some stuff out. What I want to try to do, my goal is to get something out by the summer. I don't really like saying a date anymore because what happened is like self-sabotage or something. I said a date and then it didn't happen. And then you get all depressed and it's just not cool. So I set a goal. Hopefully I'll make that goal, but I am actively working. I'm actually driving to Virginia tomorrow morning to go to the studio. So for sure I'm working.
Well, whenever it happens, it'll be the right time and we will be thrilled. Just absolutely.
Yay. I'm so excited that you're excited. You know, that's what it's about for me. Like, it's never been about just me. It's always been about the energy that I get back. You know, performing ever since I was a little girl, you know, doing theater and stuff, it's always been about that exchange for me. I get the most joy out of that exchange, you know, touring and all of that stuff. It wouldn't be worth it if it wasn't for the fans. What would you be doing? I guess I could then start singing in the shower.
Yeah.
No fans, I'm in the shower. Yeah, that'll start my shower career if nobody loves me anymore, don't want to hear my songs.
Well, that won't be happening out here, at least at the radio network.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for all your time today. We've been so looking forward to having you on, and we play you all the time, and thank you for your time and your energy and your smooth tones and everything.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate you guys both. And I told him before, and he'll attest to this. I was like, it's gonna be lively. We gotta be lively.
So now where do you stack? So the question that I really want to know now is, where do you stack us up in terms of your previous, because you and I talked about this offline, off air. You know where I'm going with this.
I know what you're about to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to ask questions. So in the past, you said that you've done some radio interviews that have been boring, more boring than actually watching paint dry on the wall. So where would you stack us on a 1 to 10, meaning the Daybreak Star Radio Network, in comparison to the other, you know, non-thrilling, boring other avenues that you've been part of? Where would you stack us? I mean, wait.
I'm gonna take this one from some of my Jamaican friends. Bonfire upon the boy. So it just means they're great. Blue, 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 liquor shot.
Toni, it's been a pleasure.
You guys are up there.
Good health,
You know?
and we'll definitely keep in contact. Stay blessed.
Peace and blessings, y'all. Thank you.
Bye, Toni. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Don't be shy. I wanna see you at my coffee shop. Take a minute when you're walking by. Stop overstay. Don't be shy. I wanna see you at my coffee shop. Take a minute when you're walking by. Stop overstay. Stop overstay. Have a cup of coffee.